Hi there, and welcome back to the Porta One channel. Today, I'm going to show you how you can automate manual workflows in Porta Billing using API and cloud functions, and how you can do it without knowing anything about writing code. What are cloud functions? In simple terms, they are small pieces of code that run in the cloud without you having to worry about managing any servers or infrastructure. In short, this means they are a very cost-effective way to support your unique business scenarios. In this video, I am going to show you how to set up a cloud function that can handle a specific scenario: the automated suspension and termination of telecom customers with overdue accounts. So, stick around and I'll guide you through all the steps of setting up this efficient and seamless system. Imagine this: you're managing a telecom service, and you want an automated way to handle unpaid invoices and customer suspensions in Porta Billing. To be more specific, you want your system to automatically apply provisional termination after a customer has been suspended for a specific number of days, so that your business can settle financial matters like registering a final payment before the account is terminated permanently. Manually managing a task like this can be time-consuming and prone to mistakes. Today, I'll show you how ChatGPT can assist you in creating and deploying your own cloud function, step by step. So let's go. To get started, let's look at a few of the key benefits of cloud functions. As a telecom owner or manager, you are always looking for ways to optimize your operations, reduce your costs, and enhance your overall customer satisfaction. Cloud functions offer several benefits that align perfectly with these goals. First, there is scalability. Cloud functions automatically scale with your needs, handling thousands of events per second without requiring you to manage the underlying infrastructure. Next comes cost efficiency. You only pay for the actual usage of the function, meaning no costs are incurred during idle times. This is especially beneficial for businesses that see a lot of fluctuating demand. Another benefit is rapid development and deployment. Cloud functions enable quick iteration and deployment of new features, helping you respond faster to market changes and business needs. Finally, there is reliability and performance. Leveraging robust cloud infrastructure ensures high availability and fast response times, which are critical for maintaining customer satisfaction in the telecom industry. There are many cloud platforms out there that allow the execution of cloud functions, including AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, and Oracle Cloud. Whichever your choice, cloud functions are a flexible, scalable, and cost-effective solution for running code in response to events. In this example of implementing a business scenario, we are going to use Google Cloud Functions. Remember, our task is to schedule a provisional and permanent termination for a customer whose account has been suspended due to unpaid invoices. This plant UML diagram illustrates the workflow and interactions between Porta Billing, Google Cloud Function, and other components that are involved in automating this termination process. You can see how Porta Billing detects the unpaid invoices, sends out reminders, and ultimately suspends the customer if the payments are not made within a specified period. Now, let's integrate a Google Cloud function to handle the suspension process. The Cloud function will automatically schedule provisional termination after a set number of days, and eventually, permanent termination if necessary. Here is a visual representation that diagrams how each step connects. ChatGPT can actually use this diagram to assist us in implementing these automated workflows. So first, let's copy this diagram and ask ChatGPT to help us set up our automation solution. So my prompt will define the role and provide more context about the task. We will ask ChatGPT to prepare a detailed deployment guide and to write our cloud function for the flows depicted in the diagrams. All right, now let's follow the deployment guide and set up our Google Cloud environment, ensuring we have all the necessary tools and services enabled. For the purposes of this demonstration, I already have a Google Cloud account and an empty project called Demo. Now, let's create our first cloud function. We'll give it a name and select a region that is close to the data center where our Porta Billing system is hosted, in this case, Europe Frankfurt. For simplicity, let's allow unauthenticated invocations. Later on, I will show you how your cloud function can implement the authentication of incoming requests. Next, let's add the variables that our cloud function will use when it is invoked. Let me check how ChatGPT named these variables. Porta_billing_login and Porta_billing_token are needed to send API requests to Porta Billing when provisional and permanent termination needs to be scheduled for a suspended customer. To get these credentials, create a Porta Billing admin user first. porta_API_URL is the path to the portabilling API server. Auth_token is needed to authenticate the incoming requests that will invoke our cloud function. We'll add this token later on. Now, let's add the cloud function that ChatGPT prepared for us. Select Python 3.9 as a runtime and populate the dependencies in the file that is named requirements.txt. All you need to do is simply copy and paste whatever ChatGPT printed in the snippet. Now, open the file named main.py in the editor and copy and paste the code from the corresponding ChatGPT dialog. We will also need to change the entry point by inserting the name of the request that ChatGPT created for us. Awesome! We are ready to deploy our cloud function. The build and deployment will take a while. When this is done, you can check the cloud function details. Here is the trigger. This is the URL to which portabilling will send requests to invoke our cloud function. Let's copy this URL and paste it into a test request. For testing purposes, I'm going to send this request from my local machine. As you see, my post request was not authorized. So let's debug our cloud function. When we check the cloud function logs, we can see that the function received a post request, but since we had not configured the token, the request was rejected. That means we need to configure the tokens. To do this, select to edit the cloud function and add the tokens that our cloud function will have access to. Click Next and deploy. Now, our cloud function has been redeployed with the necessary configuration variables. Let's test it once again, using the same command from my local machine. Cool! This time it's a success. Now, we can check the logs. Let's open the customer whose ID we sent in the previous request. As you can see, provisional and permanent termination have successfully been scheduled for this customer. Now, what if this customer finally paid their amount owing before the final termination date? Let's simulate a situation where the suspension is lifted for that customer. First, I am going to modify my post request and send it to the cloud function. As you can see, the cloud function successfully processed the suspension removed request and canceled the termination of this customer. Fantastic! The next step is to configure the event handler in portabilling. First, open Event Handlers and either create a new event handler or select the existing one. My event handler is subscribed to two events: customer/status/suspended and customer/status/suspension removed. Now, let's ensure that the cloud function properly authenticates requests. Let's set up custom authentication with the authorization header, bearer. Now, let's add the cloud function URL. This is where the event handler will send requests when a customer needs to be automatically suspended or when the suspension is lifted. As a final step, we need to add the token that was configured as AUETH_token in the cloud function. That's it! If you have other use cases that you would like to implement for your portabilling system, please leave a comment below this video. You might see a how-to for your use case in a future edition of this YouTube series. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.